you're both doing well this morning. It's a really pretty sunrise. You can see the cloud cover. You can kind of sense the snow that's headed our way, which is neat. So bend your knees. Separate your feet a little bit and let the knees hang together. And I want you to have both of your hands on the abdominal area. Just so you can notice your quality of breath that you've brought to the mat today without judgment. We're not judging. It's been a really strange week. Robin, as I was just telling you, for you know, I don't know, normally we have this adjustment when we come back from holidays and we're starting the new year, but usually there's a lot more punch. You know, everybody's just really lethargic and, you know, we're taking more time to rest, which is not a bad thing. So my gentle yoga classes have been more utilized right now. So notice now that maybe your inhalations are starting to get a little bit deeper and the exhalations are getting a little bit longer. That's where we want to be to make sure that we're tapped into the parasympathetic nervous system and we're in the rest and digest mode. And the breath that we've been working on this week that we're going to do again today is the 5-5-10 breath. It's sometimes called the 5-7-8 or something like that. Really, it's insignificant how many seconds you inhale. We're going to do it for 5, and it's really insignificant how many seconds you exhale, except it should be at least 1 second longer than the inhale. So we're going to inhale for 5. Be sure that your exhale is at least 6. It doesn't have to go all the way to 10. So on your next inhale, take a deep breath in. I'm going to guide you through it. Separate the lips and exhale. And then we're going to inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and pause. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 10. Count in your head. Completely empty the lungs. And then again, inhale for 5. Pause for 5. And exhale for 10. Continue to do this breath. If you feel like you need to take just a regular inhale, exhale in between, go ahead and do that. This shouldn't cause any anxiety at all. We're just regulating the breath. Do 2 more rounds, 2 more full rounds, wherever you're at. And then go back to your regular passive breathing. You're going to straighten the legs. Bring the arms overhead and take a really long stretch here. And then bring the arms down, bend the knees once again, and hug the knees up to the chest one at a time. You're going to rock left to right. Maybe even draw circles on the ceiling with your knees, both directions. And then we're going to bring this into a twist. So go ahead and drop the feet back to the floor. Cross your right leg over your left and drop your knees to the left. Have your arms extended like a T. Yep, so your leg that you crossed over, your knees are going in that same direction. And we're just taking it really slow today. So we'll be here for a good 5 breaths. When your mind leaves, which it will, doesn't seem like it should this early in the morning, but your mind will, it could be busy in the middle of the night. It really doesn't matter. Bring it back to the inhale and the exhale. Knees come back up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to uncross the legs, cross the left over the right, and then drop your knees to the right. And if you need more of a stretch in the front of the body, the pectoral muscles, you can bend the arms, come into goddess arms, or you can just keep them extended. That's fine. See what works for you. Deep breathing. On your next exhale, go ahead and bring the knees back up towards the ceiling. And so that left leg that's crossed over, we're going to turn this into a supine pigeon. So just go ahead and bring the ankle to the knee. And come into a figure 4 here. Interlace your fingers behind the right thigh and draw the knee up towards the body. Keep the left foot flexed. Shift your left knee away from you and drop your tailbone towards the mat. And your shoulders should be soft here. Release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth and your trapezius or the tops of the shoulders and the neck. Make sure that those can soften right now. Use more of the back muscles. Go ahead and exhale, bring your feet back down to the mat. Right ankle to left knee, interlace behind the left leg. And if you are running out of stretch here, if you have that mobility, grab and interlace your fingers in front of the knee instead of behind the leg. So you're reaching under and grabbing on top of that knee. You can still have your eyes closed here. Just continue to focus inward. Don't let your mind take this time away from you. This is your time. Exhale, release, both feet to the floor. Separate the feet a little bit and start to knock the knees left and right. Windshield wiper legs. Twisting the hips. Good. And then we're going to roll onto our side, our right side. Bring ourselves up safely, protecting the lower back. And you're going to come into a child's pose. So come to hands and knees, bring your big toes together, your knees are separated, walk the hands forward. Forehead is touching the mat or resting on your fists. Feel gravity way down the sitting bones. onto the heels. And make any adjustments, using your hands to externally rotate the thighs if you need to, just to settle into this pose for a few moments. This is where we are going to surrender to our day. You are in a pose of release and surrender. Breathe. Anything you don't want to take into your day that's left over from yesterday or the day before, let it go here. Give it to your mat. And begin to rock the body, just left to right, slow rocking, rolling the forehead left to right, turning the brain off. And then slow down your rocking, come back to stillness. We're going to lift the head and walk the hands towards the body just a little bit so we can walk the hands left to right. So beginning by walking the hands to the right and getting heavy towards the mat. Bring your right arms as far to the right as you can before you settle. And then inhale, lift, walk over to the left and soften. We're going to lift up, walk back to center. You're going to shift forward on your heel or on your forearms. So your sitting bones are going to be lifting up towards the ceiling. This is more like a puppy pose. And we're going to do our thread the needle here today. So staying on your forearms, just take the right arm and slide it under the left. And let your head rest on the mat. And be sure your head is resting on the mat, not the ear. Try to keep the neck as neutral as possible here. Inhale, come back up. We'll do the other side, left arm under right. Nothing fancy, just slide it through and breathe. Exhale, bring yourself back to center. Lift up onto your hands. I see a doggy doing yoga. Getting ready for the down dog. Bring your hands all the way to the front of the mat. And we're going to do big hip circles here. So shift forward, side, back, side. 3 big ones like that. Full big circles. And then go in the opposite direction. And then once you're done with that, we're gonna walk the hands closer to the shoulders. They're still gonna be in front of the shoulders, and tops of the feet will be flat on the mat. We're gonna do our cat pose here. So Betalasana, inhale, lift the tail, lift the gaze. Exhale, arch. Drop the head completely and separate the shoulder blades as much as possible. Push the floor away from you. Inhale, go back and forth now, but if you want to take 2 or 3 breaths in each position, just do that. Do what feels good. Move your shoulders, move your hips. This pose is organic to your body and what it needs this morning. Just stay with the breath as you do it. Do 2 more rounds, and then we'll just meet in tabletop with a flat back. And then we'll walk the hands forward just a little bit once again, not all the way to the top of the mat, just 1 palm length forward. And then curl the toes under. We're gonna come up into downward facing dog. So hips up and back. Don't worry about straightening the knees. Just push the floor away from you and bring your ears to the inner arms. Begin to pedal the feet. Sink your heart towards the mat and curl the buttocks up towards the ceiling. Get a nice long stretch in the spine. And then you can play with straightening the legs, getting the heels heavy towards the floor. We'll be here for just another breath or so. And then we're going to separate the feet. Separate the feet to the edges of the mat. Feet are still pointing forward. And we're going to begin to walk the hands towards the feet. So as you're walking the hands towards the feet, see if, you can bend the knees if you need to, but your legs might straighten here. Drop the head completely, grab opposite elbows, sway a little bit left to right. And then go ahead and bring your fingertips to the floor. We're going to bring the hands to the shins and lengthen through the crown of the head. So nice flat back here. And then bring the hands to the thighs and continue to lengthen. Shoulders back. And even here, we're lifting the sitting bones. Bend the knees slightly. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Good. I don't normally use my laptop, so trying not to get my head cut off here. Come to the front of your mat. We're going to do a couple of sun salutations, and we're going to go really slow as we do them. So begin in mountain pose. We're going to take a few breaths in mountain pose and really focus on grounding the feet, lifting the arches of the feet, lifting the knees, sinking the femurs back. So your toes might lift here a little bit. That's okay. We want that. Lift the chest and slide the shoulder blades down towards the tailbone. Just relax the arms. You can close your eyes here. Maybe feel the body waver back and forth. You can even, on purpose, shift the weight forward and then back, side to side, just to kind of find that equilibrium where you feel like you're floating through the crown of the head. weight is balanced evenly through the feet. And then you can blink the eyes open. We'll begin here with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way, drop the head. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back, chaturanga. Lower all the way down, yep. Uncurl the toes, inhale, lift the chest, shoulders, and head. And then exhale, we're going back into child's pose. You can do down dog if you want to, but you have permission in this gentle class to do child's pose for 5 breaths. 1, 2, deep breathing. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up, come to hands and knees, and then curl the toes under and exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, look up, step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale your arms all the way up. Bring your palms together and exhale your hands in front of the heart. Return to mountain pose. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale your arms up. Reach up as high as you can. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. And exhale, step back into chaturanga. Lower all the way to the ground. Elbows kiss the sides of the body. Inhale, lift. And exhale, take it to child's pose for 5 breaths. You get to decide what you want to do with your hands here. Do you want to grab the bottoms of the feet? Do you want to bring your palms together and drop them behind the head? Or do you want to keep them where they are? Yogi's choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head, come to hands and knees. And then curl the toes under and exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, look up, step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale your arms all the way up. Palms together, exhale, hands in front of the heart. Go ahead and drop the arms and come to Tadasana. Make sure your feet are pointing straight forward. We're just going to inhale and bring the arms up. Grab the left wrist and exhale, lean to the right. Inhale to center, grab the right wrist, exhale, lean to the left. Back to center, bring the arms down. We're just going to kind of twist here, swing the arms. Try to keep the feet planted as you do this. And then we'll come back to stillness, and we're going to do a balancing pose here. Balancing first. On your left leg, root down through the foot. Find your focus point, grab your right knee. Easy for me to show you. We'll see if I can do this. Left hand can stay on the hip. Keep the right foot flexed. And stay nice and tall. So pelvic floor is lifted, sternum is lifted towards the ceiling. Use the wall if you need to. We're going to bring this out to the right. So bring the knee up and out. Keep the hips pointing forward. Come back to center. Extend the leg just for a breath, hands on the hips. And then bring the foot down. Good, other side. Grab the left knee. Let your breath help you balance. Shoulders back. So we're not dumping everything into the standing leg. Everything energetically is lifting up. Go ahead and open it out to the side. Bring it back to center. Hands on the hips, point the toes, just one breath. And bring it down. Good. Come sideways on your mat. So separate the feet. Bring the right toes out. So from the hip socket, pivot on the right foot or the right heel. The back foot, so we're just coming into a warrior two here. The back foot can stay parallel to the back of the mat, or you can bring it in, toes in just a little bit. But we're gonna have a nice wide stance here because warrior two is like a side lunge. Oh, that was weird. Look, it looks like I have two legs. I was like, what is going on? The shadow. So bend the right knee. Make sure the knee, like you should be able to see your big toe right now. The knee is over the second and third toe, okay? Take your left shoulder, you can even use your hand, rotate it back, extend the arms. Look over the right fingertips. And just drop that left hip a little bit. Your knee is probably caved in by now. Open it back up. We're going to do a little bit of movement. So nice slow breathing flow here. Inhale, straighten the leg, bring the arms up. Full breath. Exhale, come back down. Two more times. Inhale up. Exhale down. Feel the breath moving through the body. Inhale up. Exhale, back down. Bring your hands to your waist, straighten the right knee, bring the right toes in, pivot on the heel. Left toes come out, bend the knee. And even here, you can just start to drop that right hip. We have a tendency to stick the butt out for this, and then we're shifting our energy forward. We want to kind of tuck that right buttocks down. Right shoulder comes back. This is really creeping me out, the shadow thing. I feel like I have spider legs, so weird. Extend the arms, look over the left fingertips. Good. And then we'll begin our flow. So inhale, arms up, straighten the knee. Exhale, back down. Inhale up. Be sure the knee doesn't go over the ankle here. Exhale down. And last time, inhale all the way up. And exhale down. Bring your hands to your waist. Straighten the left knee and bring your toes forward, the left toes forward. We're going to come into a wide leg forward fold. So your feet are facing straight forward. Yep, hands on the waist. Inhale, lengthen. Legs are super strong here. Exhale, send the hips back, send your heart forward. So when you're ready, you can bring the fingertips to the floor. Yep. Good. And then drop your head. And if you do have a block nearby and you need that block, use it. So we're not locking the knees out here. We're engaging the quadriceps or the upper legs. We're lifting the sitting bones up towards the ceiling. Good. And the shoulders are still working here. So that's where your stabilization is in the upper arm or in the upper body. The inner edges of the shoulder blades are drawing towards each other. Take one more breath here. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, bring your hands to your waist. And then inhale, come all the way up. Good. Exhale, bring the feet together, shake that out. It's a lot of leg work for 7 a.m. Yeah? All right. Come to the front of your mat. We're going to go back down. So inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, you're going to step back, come to your hands and knees, and go all the way down to your front side of your body in a prone position. Yep, all the way down. All the way down to your bellies. Okay, use your right arm as a pillow, so you're going to rest your head on your right arm. You're going to use your left hand to grab your left foot. And this is just going to be a quadricep stretch here. Just bring your heel towards the body. Press your hips into the floor to make it more intense. If you're running out of stretch, you don't have to, you don't want to go too far when you're stretching, but if you need to, that would be the next step. We're just going to spend a few breaths here. If you're feeling a stretch in the knee, that's not unusual. As long as you're not feeling any pain in the knee while you do this, if you are, back out of it a little bit. Don't let the shoulders sink towards the ears. Keep the shoulders back. And we're going to go ahead and release and switch. So switch pillows, switch feet. Left arm, grab the right foot with the right hand. If you can grab the ankle, grab the ankle. If you're just grabbing the foot, that's fine. Do the best you can. One more breath. And go ahead and release. Go ahead and take an extra breath here, Erica. Press your hips into the mat. And go ahead and release. All right, into child's pose you go. Hands and knees, sit back on the heels. Decide what you want to do with your hands. It will feel very comforting, not for everybody, but if you grab the bottoms of your feet and just let your arms rest here, just come into a ball. And go ahead and lift up the hands and knees. You're going to cross at the ankles and have a seat. So extend the legs forward. We're going to bend the right knee, bring it out to the right. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, keep the back straight as you walk the fingertips forward. So in other classes, we do just kind of go for it. But here, just give your body an opportunity to back out of the pose a little bit, focus on your alignment, press through the ball mound of the big toe. And your chin is always going to be lifted towards the shin, so we don't bend the cervical spine, just try to keep it neutral. Give your quadriceps a feel, make sure that they're active. You shouldn't be able to move your kneecap. Inhale, come all the way up. Other side. Close the knee joint first, and then drop it out to the side. Get rid of the, well, you can't get rid of it, but move the flesh away from the right sitting bone. Get grounded. Inhale, lengthen, and fold over that right leg. Fold over. Walk your fingertips. Shoulders are back and the neck is long. If you're able to keep the integrity of the spine and grab the outsides of the feet, you can do that. And if you're used to being in a certain spot, see where your new edge is, like that. It changes over time. If you lift the pelvic floor and engage your abdominals and kind of concave the abdominals, that will help you fold a little bit further, hinging. And you know, grabbing the toe is never the goal. You're really strengthening your back here in these forward folds, which is good. Inhale, come all the way up. And then release. I hate forward folds still to this day. There's so much you have to do to protect the back. And if you don't have a super strong back, like I always have to be very protective over my back, they're just really difficult. That's where the strap comes in, the belt. Bring the bottoms of the feet together, grab your ankles. We're gonna go down 2 times. One more time with the flat back, okay? And then we're just gonna round and release and let go. So inhale, lengthen. Pull the feet towards you as you lift the chest. And then exhale, you know, maybe you go a centimeter, chin towards the floor. Inhale, come all the way up. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And now exhale, push the spine towards the back of the body. Separate the vertebrae and drop the top of the head towards the feet. So as you do this, you might have the opportunity to use the elbows to push the knees further apart. This will also keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, come all the way up. Straighten your legs out. We're going to do kind of just a subtle strengthening here. Point the toes, bring the hands together, and let your back lower down onto the mat. Bring the arms overhead. And we're going to stretch. Good. Bring the arms down. That balancing pose that we did, we're going to do that lying down. So grab the right knee up towards the chest. Lengthen through the left leg so the left leg is strong. The foot is even flexed as if you're standing. And then bring your left hand to the left thigh and bring the right knee up and out. So opening up the hip here. Bring the knee back to center. You're going to take that left hand and grab the knee now. Extend the right arm and take the knee across the body off the left side of your mat. You're coming into a twist here. Yep, extend the opposite arm. Come back to center, release the right leg and begin to hug the left knee up to the chest. Use both hands, just bring the left knee up towards the body, extend the right leg. And then the right hand is going to go on top of the right thigh. You're going to use the left hand to rotate that hip open. Yep, bring the knee out to the left. And keep the foot flexed. Toes towards the shin. If you're using your breath here, just kind of bring your awareness to that left hip socket and see if you're holding on. It might not feel like you're holding on. It might even feel good, like you're stretching and opening, but you might be able to release a little bit more. The mind hangs on, which means the body hangs on. Yep, go ahead and come back to center. Use that right hand to cross the knee over, coming into your twist, and then extend the left arm. Yeah, so just make sure you're doing both sides. And then go ahead and come back to center. You're going to hug both knees one last time, either just rocking left to right, or you can bring this into a happy baby, grabbing the insides of the legs or reaching for the bottoms of the feet to press the knees open. And then drop the feet down to the mat. Extend the legs. One last stretch here. Make it a good one. Circle the wrists, circle the ankles, take a yawn. And then get ready for your Shavasana. So bring the arms down. You can cover your eyes. You can turn the lights off. Or just bring the palms up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades are flat. Separate the ankles. And this is your time to let go. So even with the breath, inhale deeply, separate the lips, and exhale. Feel the muscles begin to soften. 2 more deep breaths. Inhale all the way up to the collarbones, fill the lungs. And release. Last time, any stress or tension in the body, gather it up with that last inhale. And let it leave the body as you exhale. And begin to feel this wave beginning at the top of the head. This wave of warmth and release. Begin to travel down towards the neck, into the shoulders and the arms, the entire torso. And continuing that release and warmth into the hips and the legs and out through the toes. Knowing you have nowhere to be for the next few moments, nobody or nothing to take care of, I will hold space for you and I'll watch the time for you. Your only job here is to breathe, to observe the body, and to allow yourself to just be.